So you probably have to accept that it's being recorded. Okay. So today is Thursday, February 24th, and our agent development topic is the power of the RE/MAX brand in a hot market. And then we're going to cover establishing and marketing your personal brand. And we're going to start off the first part by showing a video. And so I've got it all queued up. Hopefully this all works as according to plan. So just like yell and let me know if it's not appearing correctly or you aren't able to hear it well.
Jared and Elizabeth came to us as a first-time home buyer, and they really were discouraged by what the market looked like because it's just such a hot market.
How would I decide what house was the best one? I mean, this is a huge purchase. This is the biggest purchase that we have ever made in our entire lives.
The common misconceptions about millennials is that they don't want agent engagement, that they're gonna go find all their properties online and they're gonna run with it. What I found to be true is the exact opposite. What millennials are looking for is experience.
We definitely talked with Kay, and he gave us advice of what we can do.
And that started with our first meeting. Jared had done a lot of research on what to ask realtors, what to ask mortgage companies.
I'm an analytical guy, so I wanted to systematically ask realtors the same questions.
But typically, those lists don't really square with reality.
Is this your full-time gig? How many clients have you served this year? How long have you been in residential real estate?
Really what was presented to me in our first meeting was the opportunity to sit down, develop a rapport, and then bring those questions in alignment with he and Elizabeth's experience.
Kay was really able to take all those questions on, even though it was a lot, and help build comfort on our side of the table.
We're in a world that's used to likes and tweets and posts. Embrace that, but make sure when you engage it, you're being responsive to the need of the client and the customer.
We really found RE/MAX.com to be helpful in our search because Kay was able to see what we liked and disliked.
They want to be in control of the process, which is what drives them towards technology. It gives them a sense of control so that they can experience and utilize everything around them to understand a property. We used to think that, well, I don't do social media, so I'm going to stay off of there. But whether you're working with a millennial buyer or any generation of buyer, if they're coming to you online, they're going to use all of their tools online to vet you. Your social media presence is really where they get to know you. So if they're online and they meet us, they've already gone to our Facebook and they've already looked at what are we doing in the community, what are the properties, and what are our clients saying about us working with them.
I think that having that RE/MAX name tied with Kay just instilled some trust.
That credibility and that rapport goes a long way in a hot market. Any home buyer in a hot market, they are very emotional. They're driven by emotion, and sometimes the competitive process, if you don't manage that expectation up front, then it becomes something they obsess about.
One of the deals that we came very close to pulling the trigger on seemed like the perfect home, and with the market being so hot, we felt like we needed to decide that night.
I realized that the price of the home was at the higher end of what it should be listed at, and regardless of the bidding war, I felt like there were other opportunities in that same neighborhood that would come up.
That was really a big deciding moment for us.
If this isn't the right house, don't jump on it because it's a hot market and you don't want to miss out.
He helped us every step of the way. There was never a moment where I felt lost or overwhelmed. It was just one step at a time, and before you know it, you're opening the door to your new house.
I showed up to Steve and Chrissy's house to talk about listing their home and pursue his dream of getting a mountain home, getting land, getting sweeping views of the Rocky Mountains. One of my biggest objections is the perception or the appearance that I might be very young. People may think that I have inexperience or a lack of knowledge in this industry, especially when you're making such huge financial and emotional decisions.
When I met him, you know, that baby face, I'm thinking, oh, you know, we're entrusting him to get us really into what we see as our last home.
They knew who I was, but they didn't know who I am. And we had to convince them not only could we take care of selling the house, but that they could trust me to help them find that house that would become not only his dream, but hers as well.
I think when I first met him, I thought, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. And boy, did he change my mind.
One of the ways that I was able to build trust with Steve and Chrissy right away at the listing presentation was talking about the power of the brand to just get that little bit of extra leverage and get that edge so that we can make this dream possible for them.
You know, it didn't matter that he's a younger guy. He knew what he was doing, and he knew the value of that area and that house.
It was just such a wonderful experience as far as that goes.
I was willing to be a part of this dream and not just a part of this transaction. And I think they realized that very quickly, that that's how I do business. And that's how most RE/MAX agents do business.
We both put the dollar amount on it, and it was the highest dollar amount of any home sold in that area. They had never sold anything that high.
And all the neighbors around said, oh, you'll never get that much money. And first day we had an offer, and we jumped on it.
With the RE/MAX brand, I knew as soon as he put that sign in our front yard at that house in Arvada, it was going to sell. I think the main thing that Dane helped us accomplish was to find the house that we both loved. That was a challenge. Steve's always wanted to live in the mountains. He's always wanted to live in the mountains, and I wanted to give him that dream too. But what made it neat is the fact that Dane found my dream house too.
That's the most important piece to this whole process, is that you build the trust and you are in a position to help them through this without a fear in the world that you're going to get it done.
Okay. So what did you think of that video?
The first time home buyer gonna come to you with some questions when they do the research online, and yeah,
Okay. Hopefully, video gave you some ideas of things that you can do to utilize the brand to your advantage,
Oh,
right?
yes. Mhm.
Like, because for you being newer in the business, if they ask you, I mean, I have found that they don't usually ask you how long you've been in the business, right? But if they do, then you can use me as a resource, that sort of thing. So it's up to you how you want to name team members that are helping you through the process. But I think a big part of it is just having affiliated with a large brand that's been around for 49 years. That's going to instill a lot of confidence in the public in you to begin with. It's sort of like a first impression, right? Who you chose to affiliate and work with. And so the idea is that the RE/MAX brand can help establish initial credibility with people to help you get an appointment. And then it's about using the marketing and technology tools that RE/MAX provides to build rapport with them and gain their confidence and trust, right? Because people work with realtors that they trust.
Yeah.
And so the guy that was working with the first-time home buyers was kind of addressed a question that's out there about millennials and do they just want agents to open the door for them and stuff. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier this morning about how in today's hot market, you know, you really need an agent to really be guiding you throughout every step of the process. And it's actually very complicated. And so it is important to find a professional that knows what they're doing. And then, of course, he was preparing us to be prepared to answer questions that buyers or sellers might have about our qualifications. And so, again, there are tools that you can use, including the RE/MAX listing presentation. And there's a copy of that in Dropbox. So I guess just so everyone knows, within Dropbox, it's in the listings and open houses folder.
Okay. Listing in the open house.
Yeah, listings and open house folder. There's a RE/MAX listing presentation that needs to be personalized.
Okay.
And so that all you would need to do is use a PDF editor to edit it.
Okay.
And my favorite editing tool, I mean, you can use Adobe Acrobat, but my favorite one, because I feel like it's even easier to use, is PDF Expert. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I think you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, PDF Expert doesn't work on Android devices. I don't know why. I think it's really dumb, but they work on Apple phones and tablets and stuff. And it's something like $5, and you can load it up on as many tablets and devices as you want, and it works forever. So I really recommend that, because that'll be the easiest way for you to go into that listing presentation and customize it to make it your own. But although the second guy didn't mention that, I'm sure that that's probably one of the tools that he used to gain the seller's confidence in him, right? Then another tool that you can use would be Photofy. I don't know if you've checked that out yet.
No, I don't familiar that Photofy.
So probably the best way to do it would be to go to Max Center on your phone and then go to the marketplace and search for Photofy. And then that way it'll take you to the link on your phone to download the app. And that's the one that you get free for, I think it was 90 days. Yeah, you get it free for 90 days. And then if you don't like it, of course, you can cancel, but you'll probably like it. And then it's only $4 a month. And then I think you've seen the social media posts that I've been doing on Facebook and Instagram, right? Almost everything, well, definitely everything that I generate for agents in the office. So like your welcome post, under contract, closed sale, open houses that Misty's been doing, all of that stuff I do in Photofy. And then I do other things in Photofy too, but just so you know the difference. And they're all very easy to do, because once you have the app on your phone, you're going to kind of like customize it once, right? And so then every piece that you generate will be automatically branded that way. And so it's just up to you to maybe add the photo of the property and customize the text for the listing or the open house or whatever. So it's very easy to use.
Okay, you post the photo you posted on the Facebook that you use with the photo file, right?
Yes.
To edit. Okay, this looks
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah. Like I think you commented yesterday to Rick about the under contract one, right? For you
Yeah.
that I posted
Yeah.
last week. Yeah, that was photo 5.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much almost everything that I do on Instagram and most everything that I do on Facebook is done in Photify. It's just that on our Facebook page, I do also share things from the National Association of Realtors, Washington Realtors, and Seattle King County. Like I share other stuff there. So obviously I didn't create those, but otherwise Photify is very quick and easy to use. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
So any questions about anything covered in the video or anything we just talked about using the RE/MAX brand to your advantage?
So, okay, when the clients come to me and when I ask them to write a review for me after the transaction, and they will see there has no other reviews online. So they are the first reviewer. So if they ask me why you don't have any review online, how can I answer it?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question, Teresa. I'm trying to think. I haven't ever really had anyone ask me about the other reviewers. I think they would have to like specifically look, you know? I guess if they did specifically look and ask, then I think it's good you're planning ahead. You probably need to figure out how you want to answer that.
Right.
As far as, do you just want to say, oh, I just don't have any reviews yet?
Yeah.
Or I guess I would probably just say something like, I've just begun asking for reviews, because that's the truth, but it's not necessarily saying anything about anything else, you know?
Yeah.
I've just begun gathering reviews.
Right, because the client, maybe they don't check how many deals you have last 12 months, but if when you require them to make the review, they will ask you, why I'm the first one, where's the others, your clients, why they don't give you the review? Or they may be thinking I'm in this industry a long time, but I'm not. But I don't need to tell everyone I'm the new agent. So
yeah, I would
because I work with a experienced office and have the experienced mentor. So I don't need to tell everyone I'm the new agent. I don't have any experience. But when they are the first people to review that, they maybe ask me about that questions.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think back. I know that with Haley, she was able to get reviews from her first few clients, and because they were her friends, I think they all knew that they were her first client.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she didn't really have that trouble. And I think like for me, I had already been experienced, you know, online reviews weren't even around when I first started in the business. So for me, when I was first as an experienced agent, I had to go back to past clients and ask them for reviews. And that question never came up, but maybe it's because they knew I was experienced and just beginning to gather them. So that's why I think I would just say that you're just beginning to gather reviews now.
Okay.
But
yeah, that makes sense.
I probably wouldn't really worry about it because I don't think they're necessarily going to notice that.
Yeah.
And probably going to be even less important. Like, even if they notice it, they may not even bother to ask you, because if they're satisfied with the services you provided, what does it really matter, right? Like, it's like they might be like, oh, why hasn't anyone else reviewed her? Oh well, and then do the review, you know?
Yeah, right.
I will say that I think probably the best places to get reviews, where most people go and look for reviews for us, is on Zillow and Realtor.com.
Realtor.com and Zillow.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really a fan of either website because they sell leads back to us, and I just don't like that idea, especially Zillow. But the thing about Zillow is they're a good technology company. And so companies like ours, Remax, have the ability to, if you collect a review on Zillow, there's a section on your website, and it should be there by default, that when you have a review come in on Zillow, it will automatically show there. And I know that Remax isn't the only company. Zillow has things set up really well. So when agents get reviews, they appear on their websites, which is what you want,
Okay.
And so that Realtor.com is a good place to put them, because I periodically get inquiries to list or buy from my Realtor.com profile. And they specifically, because Realtor.com has a way to find agents, and then they can look at the reviews and recommendations there.
Okay.
And so I definitely recommend updating your profile on both of those and attempting to get reviews there, because those are the ones that I hear from other people most about, right? That's where they're looking for them. And so that's where you want to be. Like, I know Yelp is a good place. Like, that's a popular place for people to review businesses, right? But not really so much realtors. And I can also tell you from experience, I have quite a few reviews on Yelp, but they don't all necessarily show up in the first top grouping, because if a person doesn't already have an account on Yelp, Yelp uses their own algorithms and will determine, oh, well, this person just created an account and reviewed Jennifer, so we're going to put them at the bottom, right? They have to get a regular Yelp user and be reviewing multiple businesses in order for it to really appear well on your profile. And so that's, in my opinion, kind of dumb, because I know I've had clients specifically go in, create an account to review me, and then it shows at the very bottom. And I'm like, well, so that's why now I openly try to ask for Zillow or Realtor.com. Another one is Facebook. Facebook is a good one. But the disadvantage about Facebook, and I had this happen to me once, is kind of anybody can review us without even providing information about like what they did with us, right? And so it's kind of bad, because people from the public can just go on there and rate you not so well, and then it affects your rating on there. So
so on the Facebook, do I have to have a business Facebook page?
Yeah, you have to have a business page in order to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, so not that it should be a super high priority for you, Teresa, or for any new agent. It doesn't need to be like at the top of your list. But as we know, a lot of people are on Facebook. And in fact, there's a very short video, it'll be shorter than this last one that I'm going to show, that talks about social media usage, and how, like you heard in this last video, unfortunately, with people being on social media, we need to be there too, right? Because if we aren't, then who knows what other realtor is out there gathering their attention online, right? So it would be best to eventually create a Facebook business page. And start using that.
Yeah.
And the same with Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are kind of the most used and most important. Twitter and LinkedIn are good. Obviously as an office, I'm posting everywhere for us, but it seems like there's less people that are on there and really utilizing those news feeds. So less important.
Okay. So Instagram is better.
Instagram. Yep. Those are the two most popular. Okay, so now we'll move more into establishing and marketing your own personal brand. Your own brand is going to encompass what makes you unique, your values, and the experience that you offer to your clients. So branding isn't always something tangible. Every interaction with a potential client impacts your brand and ultimately your business. So make sure you're putting your best foot forward. Learn how to establish a positive brand identity, grow your online presence, and build credibility with tools that help you stand out with the crowd. And so that's what we're going to cover next. We'll start off with defining your brand identity. So you're going to do this by establishing who you are and what you have to offer by showcasing your value and the many reasons why a client would want to work with you. So here's 4 questions that you could ask yourself. How do you differentiate yourself from other agents? What do you have to offer that no one else does? Or I would say is at least rare, right, to help you stand out? How do you go above and beyond for your clients? So trying to specifically describe that. And then what are your values and mission statement as an agent? That could be about what you value most, what you try to embody as an agent. So once these questions are answered, then you should update your agent bio and your RE/MAX profile to reflect this information. Your bio appears across the entire RE/MAX network, including remax.com and your Bouge website, and helps potential clients get to know you better. Also, your bio page on remax.com ranks high on search engines like Google, making it likely that a potential client would land on your bio page if searching for your name online. And I think that's what we talked about before, right? It's going to take a few weeks for you to start showing up that way when you're a new agent.
Yeah.
But that's the power of the RE/MAX brand working for you, right? That's one of the reasons that we pay the monthly fees and franchise fees that we do, is to cover the technology and have them work on that for us in the background. So then after you define your brand identity by answering those questions, then you're going to want to identify who your target market is. So 56% of consumers believe that businesses need to have a deeper understanding of their needs. The only way to truly do that is to know as much about them as individuals as possible. So do you specialize in first-time home buyers or luxury clientele? Do you focus on specific neighborhoods or communities? What is the typical age and demographics of your customers? So having an understanding of who your target audience is allows you to build content then that matters to them and better target your marketing efforts with tools like Megaphone and Bouge campaigns to ensure the right content gets in front of the right people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then associate your brand with local expertise. So as a local real estate agent, no one knows the real estate market and area better than you. Use this to your advantage and provide valuable and meaningful content to support clients on their journey. While default content related to the home buying and selling process is provided on your Bouge website, what can you do to differentiate your website from others? What common questions do you get asked? And then build content that provides those answers. So you've seen that on your website, right? How over in the top right menu, there's different pages there that kind of outline the process for buyers and sellers. But what you can do is, we as RE/MAX agents have the ability to add unlimited number of pages to our website. So you can create your own individual content. You can add custom pages to your website to include more in-depth resources on things such as local schools, trusted vendors you work with, things to do in the area, and the market reports so clients can stay in the know. And like you might remember, I'd given you a link when I kind of sent you a link to all of our office social media sets and our office website. I think I told you, oh yeah, that's a page on our office website for market stats, right? So that's an example of a page that you could do. So you might want to check that out, because like that's what I use to direct traffic to our office website each month, is I update it each month with market stats. And the other thing is the more pages that we have customized in our website, and the more we're updating them, Google likes that, right? Because then it thinks, oh, wow, Teresa's putting out new content. So you're more likely to get found online. It's just good for your traffic.
Okay.
Another idea that they bring up here, and I know a lot of coaches talk about, is creating several community pages. So there's a page template in your website available for that, so you don't have to build it from scratch. You can set up a search and include community information. Other things you can do besides your website would be to add your clients to the drip campaigns within the Bouge CRM. I don't know how much you've been in there yet, but once you get your contacts in there, either manually added or imported, you can use the automatic drip campaigns. They mentioned in here to add past clients to the default homeowners drip campaign. You can automate your campaigns using smart lists. And then don't forget that there's also a monthly newsletter in there too.
Okay.
So those are all things that are created for us to use. It's just a matter of actually using them.
It's all under the Max Center, right?
Yes. Yep. Everything's a Max Center. So like when I talk about the Bouge website, that's going to be within the website, and then CRM, I think is labeled CRM.
Right.
And I'll be giving you some links to videos on how to do things afterwards too.
Okay.
So let's see, we were just talking about how to associate your brand with local expertise and ideas for providing information. So then after that, it's actually about promoting your brand. So now you need to get your name out there for maximum exposure. And so we've got a short little video on that. Let me pull that Oh, oops. Wrong video. Let me switch this one. Here we go.
So first and foremost, why does all of this matter? I know marketing matters, but we're taking the spin for digital marketing. And that means, it doesn't mean that traditional marketing like flyers and print and direct marketing doesn't have value. It can have value in your marketing strategy, but the world, and especially the real estate industry, has gone digital. So it is important for you to have a digital marketing strategy. And I have a few stats here just to drive home that importance. Starting with the fact that digital marketing can help you build awareness and help you connect with customers. 91% of marketers claimed their social media marketing efforts increased their brand visibility and heightened the customer experience. I'm going to talk about leads in a moment, but digital marketing is not just about garnishing leads. It's really helpful for you to build awareness, which sometimes can cause you to incur leads, but it's not a one-to-one match. But awareness is so important for you to market your brand, your messaging, your online image. It's also a way for you to connect with customers, both potential customers and your current customers. So social media is ideal for that. Speaking of social media, a little comparison here. 59% of people say that they access social media every day or most days. That seems a little low for me, but that is the conservative stat there. So majority of people are accessing social media, I would say every day, at least one platform. But in contrast, only 26% of agents would categorize themselves as extremely comfortable using social media. I'm here to say that you don't need to be a social media or digital marketing expert. You need to understand the tools available to you and just start implementing this into your strategy. You don't have to be immensely comfortable to have an impact on social media. Another comparison stat here with video. Video is also a huge digital marketing strategy, and RE/MAX offers tools that make video really simple, and I'll be walking you through a few of these. But right now, whether it's on social media, in the news, there's video everywhere. Every social media platform accepts videos now. So video is king for getting that message out there. And 78% of people watch videos online every week. You can hardly get away from it these days. But only 48% of agents or 48% say they rarely or never use video. And I would say this is absolutely true. What I want to encourage you is not all video has to be you in front of the camera. I know that's very scary. That can be the next step. what I want you to take away from today is using the tools that RE/MAX offers for creating videos. Videos can help you in your marketing, but it can also be useful for relaying information about the market, about your listings. It's just another way of relaying information. It doesn't necessarily have to be you in front of the camera. Another social media stat, when it comes.
Okay, so she moves on into something else. So I just had wanted to show the first part of that video talking about digital marketing, and so tools that we have to help you do that are Megaphone, which is in Max Center. You can promote your brand, meaning yourself and also your listings there. You're able to create flyers, postcards, just a whole wide variety of things. And then they also have the ability to create posts for social media as well. And there's also a way in there along the top, I think it's called listing automation. You can, after you connect it to your social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you can set it up to automatically share your new listings, open houses, price reductions, sales, and those sorts of things. Unfortunately, like what I have found with Instagram is because Instagram is photo focused, it doesn't lend itself to being a program that can be automatically posted to, if that makes sense. So Instagram is always something that we have to do ourselves using the app. Because in fact, it's also not really desktop or laptop friendly. Don't forget that you can also share a link to your branded mobile app. I don't know if you checked that out. Your unique link to get your mobile app is within your website area there where you published it. It's in that area. And so you can direct people to your mobile app where then they can also search for properties, open houses, and all that sort of stuff. And then we already talked a lot about testimonials and reviews, but that's kind of the final step in establishing and building your own brand, is to let your clients become your advocates for you by providing those online reviews. And let's see if we talked about where those are at. You talk about how there's a pre-written email called client testimonial within the content templates of the CRM. If you want to use that, that might be a good example to start with. So then to summarize the different RE/MAX tools that you can use to build your brand are Photofy, your Max Center profile, Megaphone, your Bouge website, your personally branded mobile app, and the Bouge drip campaigns available in the CRM. And so after this, I will be emailing everyone in the office a list of these action steps, and then also links to videos on how to actually use them to your advantage too. So a little bit more of the how-to. So that's all the information I have. Do you have any questions about the second part?
No.
Okay, I'll stop the recording then.